Welcome to Shock to the Series. It's not about what's best for us. It's about doing what is right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of Shock to the Series. At the eye of this episode, Drawn to Life. This is Drawn to Life and Drawn to Life the Next Chapter, both Nintendo DS games. There was also Drawn to Life the Next Chapter for Wii, which was a different game than Drawn to Life the Next Chapter for DS. And there was Drawn to Life SpongeBob, which doesn't have much to do with much of anything we're going to talk about here today, as far as I know. So these games were really interesting. Essentially, your person was God in a sense. You are what's called the creator, and these creatures, the Raposa, beg you to send them a hero as their realm starts to be overtaken by darkness, and they beg you, the creator, to make them a hero. So you draw to life a hero. And you get to give him certain armaments and things, and you can draw these the way you want to draw them. So there's basic shapes and things, and there's basic designs, but you can get kind of crazy with it. And the creation system, I think, it was really good, especially for its time. These DS games, they're several years old. And creation engines have just gotten better, which is one reason that I'm highlighting this series, is because you look at things like the WWE series or Skylanders, their Imaginators game. Creation engines are such a huge thing now. I'd love to see a more detailed creation engine come in a Drawn to Life game. The problem with making another Drawn to Life game, though, is these games were super dark. These characters, the Raposa and they're very cute, and Fifth Cell does kind of more cute-ish games with like Scribblenauts and things like that. But you look at things like Drawn to Life and Lock's Quest, which is a game I'm going to cover. If you want to take a little bit of a look at it, I'm going to cover that next month. But some of these got really dark, and Drawn to Life ended up being the same way, at least on the DS version. And it doesn't start that way. As near as I can remember, the first game, it seems like it's going to be just this new franchise where you've got these new characters, the Raposa, and you've got the bad guy, Wilfre, Wilfre. I'm not sure, honestly, how to pronounce it. There's a little bit of vocals in these games. When it comes to the songs, there's 3 songs as far as the DS titles go. I don't know if there's one in the Wii version, but there's 3 songs as far as the DS title goes. There's the end song for Drawn to Life 1, the end song for Drawn to Life the Next Chapter, and then Light of My Life in Drawn to Life the Next Chapter. It's about midway through. The songs for these games, those 3 songs, are absolutely gorgeous, and I really suggest you go find them. Just search Light of My Life, Drawn to Life, and the end songs. I think it's actually called Drawn to Life for the first one, and the second one is Real Life, Real World, Real Life, I think. And there's kind of an interesting reason it's called Real Life, is because it kind of takes a really, really dark turn from being about the Raposa and Wilfre to it. I really don't remember this coming up in the first one. I haven't played through these in a while, just because of time and having other things to do. But I may go back through them again. And I'm not going to spoil it here because it's a really big twist, especially if they don't mention it all in one, as to what happens in Drawn to Life the Next Chapter on DS. And it makes it so it's basically almost impossible for them to kind of fix it unless they're going to retcon things and make a new title. The Wii version, I think, does forego that. I think it actually stays in the Raposa village, deals with the Raposa and things like that. But it's a shame that this just ended. I'm not saying it was a bad ending. I'm saying it was very unexpected, and I'm saying that I wish it hadn't ended there because I feel like there's more to tell. I feel like there's more to do, in that world, in the Raposa world with Wilfer and Mari and Jowie. And I was just reading back over a few things looking for this episode, and I forgot just how dark those two games could be. And it's surprising because the imagery doesn't really fit. And again, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's really different. And that's what I think Fifth Cell did and does well. Scribblenauts was different. Drawn to Life was different. Locke's Quest was different. So you've got all these different games, and I think they were all really good, and I think they still are. I still love Scribblenauts. I still like Locke's Quest, and I like Drawn to Life, and I wish that we would get more from Locke's Quest and Drawn to Life. Because we're getting a lot of Scribblenauts. One just came out this year. One new one. So, yeah. If you haven't played these, don't play the second one without playing the first one, because there's a lot of story stuff in the first one that needs to be experienced. You need to get to know the characters of Mari and Jowie and Wilfer before you get into the second one and see what all's happening, because these characters beg you to make heroes and to do what's right, and Wilfer hates you for it. And it's really interesting just to see them responding, kind of talking to you that way, almost, like being worshipped, but you're also the cause of all the problems at the same time. But you're saving things, but you can't save everything. You can't do everything in time. So there's things that happen. Again, trying not to spoil too much here, because this game can take some really dark turns. But I think they're done very well, and I think that these are games, especially Next Chapter, these are games that will tug at your heartstrings. Specifically, the Light of My Life song is being sung at a moment, and it honestly kind of broke me a little bit the first time I heard it and saw it, and just everything. It is a powerful moment, and it is a terrible moment, but it is a moment that just sticks with you. But in the grand scheme of things, these games should stick with you because they're just good. They're just good games, good creation engines. And I'd really like to see, especially with something like the Switch now. Again, I'm focusing a lot on Nintendo. I'm going to try to branch out of that soon. Next week, in fact. But the Switch, just be able to carry around and to have it as almost a tablet. If they could make the Switch work like a tablet and give you some sort of Nintendo pen or something where you're just able to draw these things yourself, I think they would take Drawn to Life to the next level, and really breathe new life into this series. So yeah, I'm more than willing to jump back in and draw another hero for the Raposa. Let me know what the rest of you think. As usual, poll up here. As for next week, of course, we are going to be one day out from Halloween, and I am going to cover one of the scariest games, in the good way. Not scary as much as horror, but you'll see what I mean next week. That's it for this one, guys. That is Lights Out on Shock to the Series, Drawn to Life.